What is doing
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Amanda, the program director here at the Senior Center in Milford, Connecticut. And this morning, our virtual class is with Miss Anna, our Italian cultural teacher. Have fun. Grazie.
Buongiorno, and now you know that La Signora Amanda is a little bit far. I can have my. I'm so happy to see you. You know what? I am in this room. I can scream as much as I want, but there is nobody around, but there is only you and I. And I know that you are quite of the Italian yous. There are so many divided, okay? Because we are together. And let me see if we can have this imaginary tables, okay? Is it imaginary only in my mind? Because in the reality, you are there. So we're going to follow the same position. And then there is the Vittorio, my wonderful guy. You don't know, guys, the Vittorio from Puerto Rico. He is the chef. I thought my son was a chef. Believe me, the way he cooks with his wife is, and I know because I know, okay? So let's go on down the table. We have a Vittorio, and then Marco. Without Marco, we don't go anywhere, okay? And then there is our inspiration. And then we have Tony. And then we have a Virgin. And then we have Angela. And then we have a Rosina, my little Rosina. She makes the most wonderful coffee ever. And then we have Bettina. Bettina with a heart. Let me see. Usually the heart is like this. You see the shape? Okay. No, Bettina has a heart like this, right? Okay. And then we have a Filomena. Buongiorno. And we have Sally. And we have a Luigino. And everybody together again. So the table is complete. And we're going to start as all the time our meeting, or I like it better, our moment to be together. And what are we going to do today? Well, I don't think so. Anything has changed because I have my big mouth. We started September. It is a very beautiful month. You know, then, okay? We do 7. You guys can do 7 like this, or we do like this, okay? 7 is they call it 7 because the year started with the spring equinox. So, if you count with your finger like myself, you have marzo, aprile, maggio, giugno, luglio, agosto, September. It makes sense. It's the 7th month of the year. Later, they added January and February to kind of, make a little bit more sense with the year. They were short of time. Okay, so they had to add. So September is very interesting because, as I always said, names don't just a magic number. They could have called, yes, even though it's the 7th month, they could have called the Dunga Dunga, Bingo Bingo, Boo 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 Boo, whatever. August is dedicated to the Emperor Augusto. So they could have dedicated to Caesar, to I don't know, but they put September because right now is a very magic time. A very summer time is almost to an end. There is soon the autumn equinox. Okay? So we're going into a new cycle. And there is a new moment that is waiting for us. And can you imagine? Things don't just are happening just because they want to put them. So it is very nice that we are sharing today the magic of number 7. Number 7 means to be complete. I told you is a magic number. When you reach number 7, that means you're all being. Honey, that is quite a great thing, right? Because that we have 7 days in a week. You have 10 or 12 or 11, you have 7. That's why we have in the Bible the 7, Christianity, the 7 sin. And that's why we have remember the proverb, 7 days. If you break a mirror, enough. This number 7 is really a big momentum. Okay, so we're sharing September, the number 7. So we're going to reach out by, I'm sure one of you, somebody must have a birthday. So I'm going to wish you in Italian the happy birthday so you can reach this magic moment. So guys, let's be all together. I'll do it because you. So Anna, Donato, come on, in italiano. 1, 2, 3. Buon compleanno a te. Buon compleanno a te. Put your hands over your lips, okay? Buon compleanno. Somebody does a birthday in September. Buon compleanno a te. Okay, Anna, Donato, it was fantastic. Donato, do you remember, guys, Donato? He is a little, we make it a stable. Is here with his fabulous guitar. He is the leader with the music in our around our table. And Angelo is singing with Donato. And actually, now I think probably more people are going to come. But you know what we're going to do? We did the happy birthday. And I want to say, well, I am doing today. I look outside the window and it's raining. But you know what? We don't care if outside is raining because we're feeling so happy and so warm to be together. That Angelo, can you sing Rosina? And number 1, Donato. 1, 2, 3. I hope my words are okay. That one there. Oh, sole mio, sta in fronte a te. No. Oh, sole mio, sta in fronte a te. Oh, sole mio, sta in fronte a te. Sta in fronte a te. Bettina, don't start saying that I should stop singing, okay? I consider myself a great singer. Yeah, right. So let's believe it that there is the sun. Because why do we need the sun? Because after saying that September means magic, we're going to travel. And today, the traveling that we do is to pay respect to our Donato and Anna, which are really, really like myself, a real Italian blood. Okay, they have the sun, they have the fun, they have everything. I know everybody else is too, but we really, really, the Italian presence is there. So we're going to Caserta. So next time I'm going to bring an Italian map, but today with the way we're going to travel is this way. So we are going to New York. Okay, you prefer Hartford? Fine, you go to Hartford. Hartford, New York. New York, we take this big airplane. You cannot swim or go to Italy, so we run the airplane. Okay. Yes, so wear your mask or whatever you want, whatever you. And then we arrive in Roma. We arrive in Roma. We used to have a little cappuccino, fast, because we have to take an airplane to go to fast, and we go on another airplane and we arrive in Napoli. From Napoli, andiamo and Anna. They had their birth in a little town. They had their youth. That's where Donato proposed to Anna. And can you imagine their love? It was so deep that they wait 7 years before they yes in front of the police, getting married. Okay, but the beautiful things already their town was already quite beautiful little villages and with very 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 ancient history since the Roman times. Carlo III from Spain, but some in the past the family was connected with France. Okay. Now, in France, there is a beautiful castle, this beautiful residence, if you call it whatever, which is called Versailles, right? This Carlo Verso said, wait a minute, probably said the Italian way, wait a minute. They have that beautiful residence. I'm going to have even better. So he built, it took quite a few years, this royal palace in Caserta. Imagine has 1,200 rooms. Excuse me, I have to breathe. Okay, has 1,200 rooms, more than 1,700 windows. Imagine to clean. It is the biggest residence in Europe. Is just magnificent, magnificent. Imagine this one. There is this enormous step to go inside. I mean, just for having 1,700 more than 1,700 windows, it is enormous, okay? But when the king was coming inside of one of those doors, because there must be those are many, there was always music. But you will say, wait a minute, they didn't have all those equipment, all the digital information. We're talking 1700, okay? What's going on here? They didn't have a radio at the time. So what they did, on top of this entrance, there was a little, because they were very high, right? There was a niche. I mean, we talk about 10, 20 feet high, right? Inside of here, there were people sitting down all the time and waiting for the king to come in. As soon as he came into that entrance, they were playing music. Imagine 20, 25 feet up in this room up there with all those painting around. It was enormous, right? To kind of celebrate God. They never had a break, right? So this is just one magnificent sight, which Donato, Anna, probably you saw. I don't know if the band is still there playing, but you know, or there was a new attraction. And so she had just for herself, she came from Austria. She had just for herself 6 rooms full of books. Can you just for herself? Which, you know, that kind of makes sense. Today we can go in, brought from Austria. She got all her books and 6 rooms just for herself. I mean, come on. So this is the magnificent sight of the royal place. But then there is even more. You stay outside and there are the royal gardens. The gardens which are, you know, full of paths and turns and trees, flowers. I mean, to be the biggest residence of Europe, you need to have magnificent sun. Did their pictures after the ceremony, after the service of their wedding. All the brides and grooms that will go there and pay respect to this wonderful legacy of their area. So this is Caserta, but Caserta is famous not just because the king, not just because the royal place, is very famous because I'm sure growing up, you saw you in the cabinets, I don't know, somewhere there. The color is yellow and kind of elongate, a little tall bottle. And they will take this bottle, I don't know, probably they did like my grandmother when she was not feeling well, and she will open up the cabinet and she will look around to make sure that nobody will see her and have a little, okay? And I say, Grandma, what are you doing? I said, I'm feeling a little down today. I'm having a little energetic reassurance for my body, energy for my body. And so That's 100, guys. Remember? The name is Strega. Is a yellow bottle, and the family is making this liqueur for the past 100 years. Inside this liqueur, there are 70 herbs. Nobody knows. They know, the name. I don't know because I forget it. There are 70. There are too many to remember. I don't even remember what I had this morning. Imagine if I can remember all those herbs. Okay. But they is a secret. So they know that they put the herbs, but it's a secret that on the family has, passed from generation into generation. And they're still doing the famous liqueur of La Strega, which in Italian means wish, witch. I always get confused. Wish, like chicken and kitchen. By now, I don't know how you can understand. Bettina, don't laugh. You can understand me. You're right. Goodness sake, my husband gave up on my English. Okay. So his name is Kurt. Now, so you remember this on our trip, okay? We are from Caserta, the Royal Palace, the Royal Garden, Anna and Donato. They took a picture of their wedding. Now we move into the production of this area, which is the best liqueur, La Strega, which we're going to give it to our director, Amanda, because right now she's drinking a bottle of water. No, that's not good. She needs to have Strega. Boy, there you go. Right there. Okay? So if you guys have it, just bring her to her for her birthday. Okay? Is a deal? Good. All right. This liqueur, as any other September, remember Sette, they call September because it's magic. They call La Strega. Let me breathe again, because I still have a big mouth. Because long time ago, so we go back into the timing now. We go in 5th century AD. 5th century AD. Let's transport our imagination, okay? We need to escape the pessimistic view of today, the panic, the anxiety, the depression, forget all those things, okay? So let's fly into the past. We have the 5th century AD. The Roman Empire is over, done. The new time is coming. The new tribes from north, from Sweden, their names were Longobards. Now, they were not Christian, but they accepted the new religion. If you don't kill it, just eat it. It's going to be fun, right? Go along. They went along. And they had one of the major sites that they found. It was in Puglia. It was a church dedicated to Saint Michael. Saint Michael became, in the day, the biggest pilgrimage site for the Christianity at the time. Now, there was a religious side, but then there was the pagan side. And the pagan side was a little bit more, probably an hour and a half far from St. Michael. And these Longobards, before being Christian, naturally they had all these demons and beings with them during the day. So they transported again their, which they call it, let me find again the right accent, witches, the straight. So these Longobards, even though believe in Saint Michael, they even believe in the witches. I have to stop it to put the right accent, okay? Those witches, they will have their moment, the reunion, like we are having it today, near Benevento, okay, which is not too far from Caserta. And they believe that around this walnut tree, all the witches, but the devil was going to be with them. I mean, you cannot be alone all the time. There is always somebody. What do you think our expression? There is always a devil in the middle of everything, Judy, I remember, you know what? I remember when I was a kid, and my mother was a dressmaker, and sometimes the thread gets all stuck, this and that. So she said, "Oh, just stop there. Do the sign of a cross over the thread because the devil went in." Okay, so imagine this one. Imagine in those days, right? So the devil was dancing with the witches, and they were having a great time. How do all the local people, they thought, how do we get rid of those witches? Because, somehow we all have a superstition and we believe it's nice too, in those old way of thinking. And so each home, they will put outside a broom. When they thought, if the broom was coming into their house, and you have, if not, let's start again. If the witch was come into the house, you put aside the broom. Now the witch is going to stop and make sure to count every one of those pieces inside the broom. By the time she finished counting, is sunrise, and so she has to go back home. Okay, so that was a way to take away all the witches from your house. So this is to say, let's recap because I talk so much I confuse your mind. We have a cassette at the royal place. We have the garden. We have this beautiful residence. Then we have the liqueur. And we're going to give it to our director, Amanda. And then don't forget, and then we're going to have those area that was the European, not just a local, an European reason why they are making this liquor with 70 herbs. They could have put, I don't know, there's tomato, for what I know. They could put some pig, some chicken. We love chicken and we love pig. We love prosciutto. You guys know prosciutto. Yes. Which if you go, parentheses, if you go to Stop and Shop and you want to have a little bit of prosciutto, don't start saying, and then the guy's going to say, "Oh, what do you want today? I want prosciutto." No, you don't ask prosciutto. You ask prosciutto. If you want some, let me see, another thing that I hear all the time. What is the thing of the bread with the tomato? Oh, guys, I'm going to run. I'm going to run. I'm going to run. Do you know what? You think I'm alone here? No, I'm not alone. Okay, director, Senora, come over here. Come over here. No, no. Listen what she said. So I don't remember. Okay, and I said, so I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Bruschetta. No way. Let's go. Bruschetta.
Ooh, that sounds much prettier.
Yeah, that's bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
Brava! Brava! The same as a. So we have all those things. And so why, let's close the parentheses, why those people put all the herbs inside her? Because they use the herbs. But the herbs, remember, are what they used to be in the beginning, all around the witches that were gathered all the time. So they continue the work of the witches because the witches worked on herbs. They were doing, imagine this one. If sometimes a husband will say, "Oh, my wife," I think of my husband sometimes too. "Oh, my wife is a witch." I mean, no, my husband doesn't say that. Otherwise, okay. But because those women, they will found those very special herbs, which are, I don't know, I guess somebody knows the name, I don't know. They will put over their body, okay, and has an oil, right? And then they believe it so much in these herbs that they will jump out the window, believing that the herb will save them from breaking their head. Now, I don't know because they're not alive anymore, so I don't know. But this was probably a drug to help the people around there. They know all this wonderful medicinal that comes from herbs. That's why the liqueur is named witch. Frega, because it's made with earth. Now we're going to have a few more minutes, and I'm going to say, enjoy not to be a witch, but enjoy the wonderful potions that is in those herbs. And I'm going to suggest to you the one wonderful herb that could help you to overcome the way they are ancestral, the way they did, all the depression and all those things of the moment is rosemary. A wonderful, did you know, director? The rosemary is great for your nerve system. It could, I mean, there are people that boil the leaves and then, they drink as a tea, but it's very bitter, so whatever. What you can do just to put the dry herb, or if you have a fresh rosemary, which you can have in a tap, okay? It can last outside because, yes, again, Donato and Anna, they have a rosemary bush, not a plant, as a bush. Okay, but you have to have a perfect location. It have to be, not in the middle of the yard, in the little corner in the back, and could resist the winter. I put in mine that was not really well protected. Lasted 3 years and it went down. So put a fresh rosemary in whatever you're doing, which after the flavor will balance with everything else, so you don't even taste it anymore. Rosemary, oregano, uh, is so strong that kills all the germs that could be part of your body. Immune system. The immune system. See, our director, she is the number one for these things. Okay, she's number one. She knows damage that is needs to have all the strength that we can give to our body, to the immune system. So I understand not everybody feels, golly, you don't have to have any big dosage. If you don't want to use, if you're allergic to the powder, use the fresh one. I know a person that is allergic to garlic. As long as fresh, the body is fine. And just a brown Donato, Anna, no Donato. Donato doesn't cook. Anna cooks. Tell everybody the wonderful property of garlic. So let's be like our ancestors. Let's find all the beautiful gem of creativity that was given to us from Mother Nature. And let's do, you don't see it, but I can see it. Let's have a bird and let's do the gymnastic that our director is doing right now. Because, yeah, I know, she's in the corner, but okay, we're doing this. Come on, get up from that chair. Get up from that chair. Let's move, okay? And then lower your arm. I'm only following the director. I'm not inventing anything, okay? Then we do this, okay? What else can we do? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, thank you for being with us, my friend. Let's do this now all the time because remember, we are never separated. We're always with each other because my big mouth is still there and your big heart is still there. God bless you. Thank you for everything. And let's keep a big